How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Emnix Plays Path of Exile Hardcore Solo Southbound. I ended up doing one quest ahead of time. We are now in Act 8. I killed Deidre.
Watch yourself.
And so yeah, let's continue Act 8. Deidre, the fight, I thought it would go badly. I recorded a bit of it, but I didn't have time to stream, but I wanted to play really badly. So I kind of just recorded it very quick and nothing happened. Like, it was a pretty easy fight. So I'm like, you know what? If I didn't die, we'll just keep going where we left off. And that way I can keep doing progression. You know, I don't need to go back. Today was supposed to be the day I go back to work. And technically I did go back, but I worked from home today. So I guess I didn't really go back. I went out yesterday for a badminton session with my wife and her family and rolled my ankle kind of badly. I don't think it's actually that bad. Are there any medical experts out there? What would constitute like a badly rolled ankle? So I think I have range of motion. When I bend, it kind of hurts. And it's like kind of sore, it's kind of stiff, but I'm assuming that's just, you know, a sprained ankle. Last time I sprained my ankle was like years ago in high school. But I think it felt the same. I mean, the fact that I can walk, that I can move around, that basically means I'm fine, right? I'm assuming that's the case. Damage is looking pretty good. And clear speed is looking not too bad either. Now, should I be picking up these 4 links? I mean, I'm pretty low on jewelers and fusings from what I remember, so maybe keeping some 4 links around to roll in the future might not be a bad idea. But at this point, I feel like the stats, like the life and resistances on gear, might be more important than the links themselves, you know? Because it shouldn't be too long before I'm able to pick up 6 sockets. And that will be probably a really good source of jewelers and fusings and so on. I'm thinking about the clear right now, and I'm like, you know what? It is a little slow, but as long as you can maintain the 40 charges or the 40 virulent stacks, it's not too bad. And at this point, I'm thinking, you know, do I need to prepare something in my head for like a second character just in case? I'm actually not sure. This character seems to be doing fine, and from my understanding, because I thought +2 to support gem craft was gone. Chris had mentioned something like that, but I believe it's still there. So because of that, I'm like, you can get Herald of Agony up to like a pretty strong point just through support gems or something. I went the wrong way, by the way. That's why I'm like going back. I need to find the Ankh of Resurrection, which might be over there. I might have missed it slightly. I should probably consider adding Blink Arrow now, just so that I can move a little bit faster. Okay, yeah, this is the Ankh. Yeah, is it faster to go back or to just run? We're just gonna run forward. So yeah, I'm looking at the progress of everyone else in the league. First of all, not many people left on solo self-found hardcore. Metamorphs they're doing everyone in, and I'm starting to think, you know, originally the plan was to play the entire league. If there's nobody playing hardcore anymore, maybe I just go play with my friends. I haven't decided yet. I really do like playing hardcore, actually, but we haven't. Who knows? Next time I die, maybe my stance will be a little different, depending on how I die, I guess. But I'm enjoying this build, and I'm enjoying playing with it. Would I play it if I were to go down in standard? Maybe not. The clear speed isn't as good, obviously. But and like I think Rise is playing this build as well. He's playing Explosive Arrow Ballista, but he's playing it as a champion, a bow champion. So I wonder what his defenses are like, because he has a lot more clear speed. So I'm really curious, you know, whether it's actually suitable for hardcore, because there have been a lot of people saying, you know, it might not necessarily be a bow champion, might not necessarily be like really good for hardcore, just because your defenses are, you know, you don't have a shield. You have a quiver, I guess, but that doesn't do much for defenses, right? Which is also why I'm thinking about using a rear guard. Like, that's one way to shore up your defenses. Just a little bit of block, it adds up. If there was a way for me to get endurance charges for more physical damage reduction, that would be really good too. I don't know exactly how I'm gonna do that though. Like, the Awakener has a lot of damage over time, from my understanding. So I need to think of a way to mitigate that damage, because I don't think my character is the kind of character where he does so much deeps that he kind of just phases the boss over and over. You're probably going to be standing still a lot. Yeah, I mean, you could be running back and forth, but for the most part, you're going to be taking a lot of damage, is what I'm assuming. And I don't think I'm not mechanically gifted enough, you know, like I haven't practiced enough to actually know how to fight the boss without making any mistakes. And really in hardcore, you only get one shot, right? Before you die. I suppose you could always log off, but you need that awareness at the same time. You could make an argument, like instead of, you know, doing this, you could use a macro, but I don't want to do that either. Okay, so far, so good. It's looking good. I'm basically sitting here playing PoE with my foot propped up because apparently you need elevation. You know, it's basically resting on top of my computer. I don't know if that's considered propped up enough, but it's like better than nothing, right? I tried doing an ice pack for a bit, and it was like really cold. But I did ice it for a bit. I sprained it last night, and at the time it was like kind of hurt, and you kind of feel your ligaments being stretched a little bit. I feel like an old man, you know? Like, my body just can't react fast enough. And then I kind of just like fell over and rolled over on my ass. Oh, double powerful crits. You see that shit? No, thank you. What happens if you do this? Is that fully juiced up? If it's not even fully juiced up, why bother, you know? Oh, that hurts. Don't stand in the vortex. That's the... Oh, that's key there. That's one of the bosses that you kind of want to stay away from. Those crits hurt, man. Okay.
I believe in traveling light.
What? Dropped. Is he dead, first of all? Yeah, he is dead. These Metamorphs, man, they're no joke. They're crazy strong. Alright, what am I looking for today? What's the goal? I think the goal is... What other goal is there when you're just trying to get through the story? We just want to progress. Hopefully we find some good gear along the way, you know? But the name of the game today is to just get into maps. I would love to see what the end game is like. The new end game. From what I read on Reddit, it's a little complicated. You know, there's a potential for you to brick your map somehow.
You getting by?
If you
Good luck to you.
if you don't do the right maps, or if you put the washstones into the wrong place or something like that. So it seems there are still some bugs that could potentially happen. What was I working on? I was working on some more life. But yeah. What can I can either progress. Now that I think about it, I could either progress or I could do... I could potentially do the labyrinth. That's a possibility. I mean, the Cruel Labyrinth is pretty important, but I don't know if I actually need it for Act 8. I could see a case for needing it for Act 9. You know, the boss could potentially be scary. Not so sure about 8 though. Oh man, you get a lot of samples here in in the Grain Gate, don't you? They're all hearts though. From what I read, map bosses actually drop like the same sample every time, so you can actually farm samples. So there's, or a certain, they have a same pool of samples that they can potentially drop. So like at the end of the day, when you want to farm like livers or hearts or whatever, because if you fully juice a Metamorph in maps, they drop another sample afterwards, like a unique sample, I believe. So I believe someone on Reddit had actually made an app where you can target farm, you know, unique samples, which is really cool. I really like when GGG adds stuff that you can target farm. You know, having like an actual drop, was it a loot table? Just so that you can like limit the RNG a little bit. I enjoy the RNG, and that's why like most of the people play this game in the first place, right? For the drop aspects, for the RNG aspects. But sometimes it just feels like you're farming with no goal whatsoever. And this, despite liking RNG, I also like goal-oriented gameplay, you know? That's why at the beginning of episode, I'm just like, what do I want to do today? What do I want to do today, and what can I do to get myself closer to that goal? That's basically how I get my enjoyment, and which probably explains why I enjoy progression in this game, or like leveling through the story. Enchanted boots. If it were an enchanted helmet, I'd be more interested. This is actually really interesting. Farming Grain Gate, you can get a lot of cool stuff. And this dude he's fully juiced. Gotta be careful of that. I would prefer not to stand in the black stuff, whatever it is. Okay, that's not doing too much damage. That looks scary, so I'm gonna try and avoid it. The moment he summons ads gives me a lot of virulence stack, so I actually like it when he does that. You know, it's like more stuff that I can potentially hit. Okay, got him. Humility, that's nice. Assassin's Favor, that's like whatever. That's a lot of life. Holy cow, that's a lot of life. No resistances though, and it's a 4-link. But still, that's really interesting. I'm gonna keep it around. You know what? This might be an area that I farm, like, offline. It's not too difficult. Or hopefully it's not too difficult. And you seem to get a lot of different drops here. And there's a lot of bosses. I like how, like, Metamorph League actually gives you an option of farming, you know, low-end areas. They're like, there's a true incentive of farming, you know, low-level zones. And part of it is just, you know, solo self-found, I think. There's an incentive to do it in the first place. Because you can't just farm higher levels so you can get more loot and then use that loot to buy other loot, right? You gotta get it all yourself. Which, now that I think about it, explains why I'm like, man, I wish there were predeterministic ways to farm for stuff. Because in solo self-found, relying purely on RNG, like, it kind of sucks. You can't plan around it, right?
I believe in traveling light.
Alright, let's take a look at these jewels as well. Not very useful. I would probably need some kind of minion jewel, actually, for Herald of Agony. Life, minion, and then maybe, like, chance to blind or something? Or onslaught. Oh, I should actually try and get out of here, huh? Let's look for the blackguards. I might have messed up there. Oh, there's one blackguard, so I did go the right way. I forgot how the layout of this area worked, so... I forgot you're supposed to look for the blackguards. There's the next one. So yeah, for those of you who don't know, the way to get out of the Grain Gate, if you happen to get lost, is to follow the entrances that have blackguard bodies outside of the entrance. And yeah, you just follow through it and make sure you don't take the ones with blackguards, because they have blackguards in both the entrance and the exit. So don't go backwards by accident. All right, so I'm gonna keep in mind that Grain Gate is a great place to farm, actually. Like, if I just have a few minutes of downtime and I'm not doing anything, definitely I would consider farming Grain Gate. Okay, where are we at? And what missions do we still need to do? Okay, so we gotta kill the Lunaris thing. Actually, there's a lot of stuff that you can potentially farm in this zone as well, right? Here you can farm a lot of Reign of Chaos. I don't know if it's actually worth it, but I mean... maybe you're getting like a Chaos a minute, something like that. Because depending on how fast you clear, you probably get the cards pretty fast. So I could see a case being made of farming in this zone as well for Reign of Chaos, or the map version of this. For Reign of Chaos as well as just Chaos Orbs and Metamorphs. But yeah, I'm starting to get into like the farming, clear speed. You know, we gotta speed ourselves up a little bit, because once we get into maps, that's basically where you're gonna be doing for like the next, well, for a long time really. Especially if you want to get to the Awakener fight, you're gonna be doing a lot of maps. You know, even if it's a bossing league, that doesn't mean you can forego clear speed. Like at the end of the day for Path of Exile, a pure single target damage or a single target build, like a pure bossing build, I don't think is gonna work. You need like a good balance. Like it's fine if you have more bossing than clear speed, but you gotta be able to clear. Destined to crumble. That's not a very good card actually. I suppose it's okay. I actually really enjoy getting divination cards. I mean, I think they are possibly better in a trade league because you can get like 4 out of 8 and then buy the rest. Whereas, you know, in solo self-found, you would have to basically farm the rest of the cards, which could potentially be like really hard to do, depending on what card it is. You know, if the drop rate is really low and you just got lucky, then you're probably not getting the rest. Like the card, like if you were to get a fiend somehow in solo self-found, you know, in trade league you'd be like, I'm rich. But or even like the doctor card, right? But if you got it here in solo self-found, it wouldn't, it's like a brick. It wouldn't do anything. I suppose what you can do is you just take your solo self-found character and bring it down to normal. This league though, I think it's a good league for solo self-found. I do think that because of the wacky way Atlas progression works. From what I understand, you can't progress your own Atlas as well as your friends. Like say you're in a party, only the party leader or whoever is running the maps gets to progress their Atlas. So as a party of 3, you would have to progress 3 different sets of Atlases, which might not be that fun, right? Like say one person is ahead of everyone else, and it was like that before too. But you could both get bonuses back then, right? I don't know how it works now. But from my understanding, now only one person gets progression, something like that. Someone asked me, Emnix, it doesn't sound like you read patch notes. And you are 100% correct. I don't read patch notes. Maybe I should, or not even maybe, I know I should, but it's like, it's too much reading, man. So I end up just kind of figuring things out either through Reddit or through viewers. Which is also why when someone comments like, hey, feels like you don't know about this thing, whatever it is, I'm like, and it's like I feel bad for telling you because it feels like backseating. I'm like, no, I actually don't know. I know that knowledge is power in this game, but sometimes it's like, I don't know, it ruins it a little bit. I know that this game is like one of those games where it doesn't feel bad to read a walkthrough. In fact, it's like encouraged, right? But I don't know. At this point, I'm like, there's so much to read, and it's so hard for me to retain it. Even if I did read it, which sometimes is what happens. I would read it, and it would just like go right over my head. So at this point, I just like, I kind of skim through it. I read the stuff that I deem is important, and everything else, I just like, alright, I'll figure it out on the way.
Nothing else.
Okay, these jewels, I'll keep them because I don't know, maybe I'll want them. If not, I'll sell them later. Which basically means that those jewels are gonna stay in the stash until they die, until the league is over, because I'm not gonna remember to sell them. I somehow managed to level up, no, I leveled up once, right? And I got a passive skill. I'm sure that's what happened. I don't think I leveled up twice without knowing. So let's pick up life. Do I want iron reflexes? Honestly, why not? Alright, you know what? I'm gonna call it an episode right here because I'm not feeling too great. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, as always, you can leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more updates in the future. Otherwise, keep in touch, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.